So perhaps you've just started homeschooling, or perhaps you're just a parent who wants to use every opportunity to teach your children. And this is a great aspiration to have, because teaching your children through everyday events means that their interest in the topic will be heightened because they're involved with it personally. But let's take a look at how you can do this practically. The first way you can learn from everyday events is when you see an animal or a tree or something interesting, you go home and then you research that object that you've seen. So if it's an animal, talk about where that animal usually lives, what it usually eats, does it run around in groups or packs, how many offspring does it have at one time. If it's a tree, you could get your child to draw a picture of it and then look up the characteristics of the tree. Perhaps it has an edible fruit. You could even watch a short video on the animal or tree. Now after you watch the video, make sure you gently question your child to make sure they've understood the topic. This is called narration and is a great way to test a child's understanding. Another way to learn from everyday events is to do math when you go grocery shopping or anything shopping. The child can easily add up, well, if I get 2 of these things for this price, then how much will it cost? Well, we have a budget of $100 and we've gone slightly over. What can we take out of our shopping basket to bring it back to the $100 spend? Third way to learn from everyday events is to research a natural event as it happens. So for instance, if you have a flood or you have an earthquake near you perhaps, or just somewhere in the country, perhaps the child has seen it online or you've talked about it, then go and research that, because that will heighten interest as the child's thinking, oh, it's an earthquake, wow, what is this? And this is relevant to me. And then they go and research and they remember it more. Also, watch the seasons as they change. So you could write down in a book, well, this deciduous tree looks like this in winter, and then in spring, wow, it looks like this, and it starts to get perhaps buds and flowers. And then in summer, wow, look at that, it's got fruit on it, and we can even eat the fruit. And then what happens in autumn? Wow, all the leaves are falling off. And so the child can learn about the different processes as it happens, and it really helps them to be a little bit more observant of the things around them. What about if something really significant happens in Peru? It's not a country that you might remember if you just started writing about it, but the child is more likely to remember Peru if something significant happens in it, and then they link it, and then they think about all the other things related to Peru. For example, we have just started listening to Paddington Bear. So it would be really interesting to research Peru, because my child's already thinking, well, what is Peru? Another way to learn from everyday events is to think about what is happening in the political climate. And then you can go back and you can research, well, how did we get to this point? Or how did that country get to that point? This could be an amazing springboard for you to learn about history together. Another great one, and this is great for adults to do, goodness me, we all need it. But if you have a disastrous, perhaps a social interchange where people shouted or temper was lost or somebody was jealous or envious or prideful, and you could go back and you could talk to your child about, well, what just happened there and what should have been the right response. You can use these interchanges to teach your child emotional intelligence and to teach them how they can lovingly respond to other people. Another way to boost learning is to change your homeschool method to one that encourages curiosity and interest-based education. And Charlotte Mason's method does just that, and you can investigate her method in this video right here.